I'll tell you what, that didn't sound like Deftones at all. And that's okay because we don't want to get flagged. YouTube loves to do that. But it's the Friday Night Dive, and I am your host, Mark Camire. You know the drill. We come here, we have a drink, we have a few laughs, some conversation. Every once in a while, I'll say something maybe meaningful, and it will go straight down the toilet because you'll watch me progressively get drunker and drunker and say really dumb things. But that's why you come here, to be entertained by my drunk ramblings. Or rantings of the Maniac podcast right here, Feeding the Monster podcast feed. Anywho, how's everybody going? Who is in the chat already? Christy Squared. We got both McGee and Christy. I won't say her last name. She does not like it when I do. So I'll just say hello and cheers. I'm still saving the rivers. By the way, you guys, turns out that when you buy a pack of Coors Seltzer, they donate 500 gallons of clean water to the nearest local river, wherever you are. In my case, I live in the state of Tennessee. We happen to have a Tennessee river that is just a mess. And so I'm doing my part to clean it up. All just because I buy Coors Seltzer. It's tasty. The calories are limited. Not a lot of stuff going on here, and except for the alcohol content, it's surprisingly pretty high, and that's a good thing because when you drink this stuff, you want to be able to feel it, and after a few, you will. But the moral is, save the rivers, okay? Wherever you live, they're going to donate clean water to the rivers. That's why that's what we do here. We drink, we have fun, we chat, and we save rivers. You forgot how could you of all people, how do you forget the rivers? No one forgets the rivers. Not up in here. No one forgets, especially you. Anywho, how's it going, Christie's? The both of you, because you're the only one joining us right now. I will never give up on the rivers ever. Until, I mean, actually, it pains me to say this, but at this point in the next year, if Coors Seltzer is still going strong and they're not a sponsor for us, I will be really upset. And so much so that I might switch over to my other favorite drink, Spite. And I'll just drink Spite and say, fuck Coors Seltzer. But for now, I'm not. For now, drink Coors Seltzer. Save the rivers. All righty. If I put this up, yeah, that didn't work. Never mind. We're just playing around. Have I heard from Sam? No, and I don't want to hear from Sam. I was about to say, for those anyone who watches this later, if you don't know, Sam is the creepy goblin that lives in McGee's closet. That every once in a while she likes to bust out and think it's a riot. And make it, there's a gnat in here. What the fuck? How do you get, I thought gnats like go away during wintertime, but I guess it's not really winter. You guys, it's been in the high 60s over here, like for the past 4 days. It's December. I know I live in the South, but my God, the last day of November, we got snowfall, which in this part of town is unheard of. And now it's going to be in the upper 60s. You know, it's just Tennessee weather, man. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. Hey, man, I can't help it when there's just a gnat flying around distracting me. It's hot today. You dress for cold. Yeah, I know. I have this fleece that I wear for work, and it's perfect, you know, in the winter when it's cold. And then when it's not perfect. It's the opposite of perfect. Story of my life. Anywho, yes, Mariano is, he's banned from the channel from now on. And he says it's because he quit. And I mean, that's not news because John, I feel, quits every other show, but he comes back. He always comes back. He's like John Wick. You think he's out, but he comes back, just keeps coming back. And you can't, he's basically the boogeyman for feeding the monster. He is the monster, and we feed him. Turns out, pizza bagels. That's a niche reference that none of you get except for a couple of you. Everyone say hi to producer extraordinaire Thomas. You can't see him, but he is trying to steer the ship, or at least he's going to do the best he can for the time being.
I will try.
There it is.
You say steer. I say like kind of drunkly sit behind the wheel and hope for the best.
I mean, where's the lie? Like, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. There is no lie.
Yeah. The cake is a lie, but there we go. There's a niche reference that I bet none of you thought I knew because I'm not a gamer, but I know that one. Sure you do. I'm going to take John's word for it. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm not going to insist on a demonstration at all. I don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. I'm sorry, John. I don't know. McGee got a good laugh at it. Maybe she wants to see it. I don't know. We'll see. Christy saying hello to Thomas. McGee is saying we love Thomas. There is no spoon. You know, I love that you all love Thomas and you all love Jeff. You say what you will about John. He kind of brings that on himself. But what about me? Yeah, that's about right. It's fine. It's fine. So, you guys, I actually have things to talk about that doesn't revolve around what's going on in my mental state or hey, yeah, maybe it is. If that's the case, if you're concerned about Sam's well-being, leaving him with Thomas, probably not a good idea. I just have this mental picture of Thomas setting a bonfire and then throwing the goblin into the bonfire. And then Thomas just steps back and looks at his handiwork and he throws his hands in the air like Randy Orton. He's just like, victory. Yeah, exactly. You guys can't see it, but he's doing it. So don't leave the goblin with Thomas unless you're prepared for what's coming later.
Literally.
Mm-hmm. Heyo. Hello, we got Zach Anderson in the chat. Thank you. You know what? Thank you, Zach. I am fond of you as well. I can't say love. We're not there yet. But I appreciate your love for me. The wedding invite. Ooh, yeah. So did we get wedding invites? Oh, we did. Okay, great. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you totally read the chat, right?
That was a whole week ago. I don't remember such things. And by the way, I was drinking. Just throwing that out there. And then John is. I think Sam could take Thomas. McGee says, well, I mean, part of me kind of wants to see it. And then the other part of me doesn't because I don't want to be scarred for life. Zach has bad taste. Ask him about chicken. Everyone, I need you to ask Zach Anderson in the chat about his taste on chicken. I already know. John knows. We all here at FTM know. But in case you don't, ask him and discuss. And while you're doing that, you guys, my favorite album of all time is is White Pony by Deftones. Those of you who know me know that Deftones, that's my ride or die. White Pony was released at a time where I needed it and didn't realize I needed it. And when it hit. So it's always been my favorite. It is the 20th anniversary since its release. So you feel old yet? Well, you should. I certainly do. But not only that, along with the anniversary, they re-released their album, but each track was remixed by different artists, and it's called Black Stallion because wordplay. And not to get sidetracked, but somebody's entering the house. Who is it? Is it Michael or Henry? It's Michael. Michael, say hello, Michael.
Hello.
There it is. We got guests all over the place. It's great. Ooh, no. Anyway, so Black Stallion is the re-release, all remixes. And I'll be honest with you, to me, the White Pony is such a perfect album that it would be really difficult to remix any of those tracks and make it something fresh that would still follow through and still be as effective. And since they released the entirety of that album, I'll be honest with you, only vibed about half of it. Now, if you're into EDM and electronica, this re-release might actually be for you. Some of the songs just, I guess for me, didn't warrant a remix, but I get it. You got to remix the whole album. You gotta keep it fresh. You have to do that's what they wanted to. And evidently, I did some reading. They had this whole remix in mind for the 20 years ago when they were recording the actual album. So this is a 20-year in the making sort of remix album. Kind of cool. I'm glad they finally saw it through, but at the same time I go, I'm not sure you needed to do it, because but then again, that's a strong word. Does anybody really need to do anything? Am I right? We just do it because it might be a fun idea. And this was a fun idea. And a lot of people are really digging it based on what I'm reading online. Me personally, it's yes, please let me know if you does anyone in the chat even listen to Deftones besides you, Christy? I know you do. McGee, I think you do. I think Thomas does. Rodney does not. He's a liar. But yeah, if you do have a favorite track, or if you know who they are, whatever, let me know. Anyway, I'm sort of trying to wrap my brain around this remix album, because it's just sort of it's like let's say your favorite movie was Star Wars, and then years later, the director of Star Wars, the creator, decided, I'm going to re-release this movie I made, but I'm going to add stuff to it. I'm going to add new CGI things that weren't there before. Imagine that impossible thing, if you will. I mean, if such a thing could exist.
This is the perfect analogy. I gotta back you up here. This is the perfect analogy for this whole album. I listened to this pretty much front to back today, and then I finished the last bit of the album when you told me you were going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is so unnecessary.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. And the problem is the difference here between the Star Wars special edition, or I guess it's the only edition now, with the unnecessary CG that definitely doesn't look weird in a 70s movie. The difference here being I can actually get down on a lot of the remixes of these tracks. There's a song called Knife Party that Purity Ring, some electronic group, they remixed. And it's not bad, because they're they're not going so far away from the original track that you can't recognize it, but they're adding to it. They're making it more, electronic-y and ethereal sounding. You even hear background vocals from one of the singers. I don't know her name. It's a lady, but it works. That one works. And I know Christy in the chat's going to. Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. It's not White Pony. It's Black Stallion. So yeah, it's clever. But and this is gonna hurt your feelings, but the remix of the track Passenger that Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park fame remixed is kind of growing on me. The first time I listened to it, I went, no, don't do that. Don't do it. Nope, not gonna jam that. Then I jammed it again. I said, okay, I see what he's doing. He was bold enough to try this, and now having jammed the entire album and all the remixes, to me, Passenger is one of the better ones. Zach Anderson only listens to podcasts. Well, cool. You should go check out this podcast called Rantings of a Maniac. They did a 2-part episode about Deftones, so you can learn all you need to know. The second episode, the guy even ranks the albums as to, you know, his personal favorite list, like where they fall in line. It's intriguing stuff. And I agree with McGee. You must diversify. So many podcasts can't fall behind. No, you definitely, I get it. You should go check out Rantings of a Maniac. There was a 2-part episode of Deftones on there. It's quite a thrill. Chrissy, you've only heard it the one time. Yeah, okay. Now, having listened to, because I'm sure you have, now you've jammed the whole album. Now you can see maybe where that one falls in line. But all that to say, oh, and did anyone answer the question of does anyone? Okay, we know Zach doesn't listen to music only podcasts. Okay, cool, whatever.
It was a good question. I take credit for that.
It's fine. Jeff, he is tone deaf. Well, it happens. Sorry, brother. Open to a re-listen. Not sure about that one. Fair enough, because I know that's like that song is your jam. Well, that song's my jam too, but fair. That's fair. What is Rodney saying? Is Amish 2.5 times as much as okay. That's a whatever. Anyway, well, Zach, I recommend you listen to music from time to time. Amish don't listen to podcasts. This is true. But, well, I mean, they do. They just don't listen to it the same way we do. They do them live and in person in a, wooden box. Exactly. Where was I going with this? Oh, sometimes maybe certain unnecessary things are unnecessary for a reason. Do I think Black Stallion's unnecessary? Kinda. But do I understand why? The need, the desire, the whole I get it. I get why they would want to try it, because they're into that. They're into electronic music and they're into remixes, so why wouldn't they? It's fine. This is Amish Talk with your host, Mark Camire, with Thomas Rising. I can't talk about the Amish because the only thing I know about the Amish is Rumspringa. That's about it. Zach Anderson is a creature of habit. Change is bad. We fear change. Well, you're about to get married, so you're gonna have to rethink that mentality real quick. Just a guess. But you do you, as the kids say. You do you. Have I ever told you guys, when people say you do you, you know what I think that means in subtext? I think the subtext is go fuck yourself. So whenever someone tells me you do you, I go, hey, fuck you. It's like, I will not go fuck myself. Have I ever listened to Rump Shaker? Is that like Baby Got Back? Because Rump Shaker, is that the same thing? Because if so, yes. And that might be the best thing you've ever said. Way to go, Rodney, everybody. Oh, Lordy Lord. McGee says, what's wrong with fucking yourself? I guess nothing. It's just it's just in the context of when it's said. Also chafing. So there you go. Did I miss anything incredible in the chat? Miss any great no, I saw that one. McGee was here for book club. Okay. Well, we could do book club, but probably not. Yeah. Thank you, Chad, in 8th grade, for making this to it. Chad, this person that Christy is mentioning is my old drummer. And yeah, one of the biggest Deftones fans ever in the world. Good drummer, too. I don't know if he still plays. Probably not. I'm trying really hard, funny enough, to see if I can get my old band onto a dive episode. You've already met Keezer in a previous episode. And if I can get the whole band together, it'll be the first time we've been together in one place for, oh God, I don't know, 10 years, maybe longer than that. I thought it would be a cool idea. Don't know if it'll happen because I just don't know if any of them would be into that, but we'll see. We'll see. Rodney drums. Do you use your head? You just like bang your head continuously? Because I could see that. What is everybody drinking, or what's everyone indulging in for the evening? Ew. Yam bag. Thank you. Yes, the proper term is yam bag. Thank you, McGee, for bringing that back. We were slacking on our use of the term yam bag, and it's good to bring that back. Danielle, what's up? She's drinking wine. You like the wine. Good stuff. I, on the other hand, am saving the rivers by drinking Coors Seltzer. Because that's just how I roll. Save the rivers, save the world. Sam does like nuts, so definitely don't send him over to Thomas's place.
Hold on. What is the fascination with sicking Christie's creepy doll on my nuts?
Oh, I don't know about that. She suggested that Sam is off with you somewhere because she said Sam loves you, and I am saying that love is not
no
retorted.
No.
That is. Do you guys even listen to the shows?
Hey, that's right? The voice of John Mariano, everybody.
Thomas comes on and very tone deafly is like, what is the obsession with sticking Christie's creepy doll on my nuts? Like, that's the show, Thomas. That's the whole network.
All right. I mean, I'm cool with it. We can talk about my nuts more.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to listen to the show.
That's not even that's the show. That's not our hashtag. Our hashtag is that's the network.
That's the nut.
That's the nut. And that's the tea. That's just what we do here. And that's the yam bag. And if you don't get it at this point, you're just not going to get it.
No, we're off for yam bags now. Now we're on nut sacks.
Right. I would rather you didn't, but that's fine. I only read about half of whatever that said, but I saw the last bit and it's like, hey, don't do that. Hey, look at that. Look, McGee sending John some love. That's like the only love John gets on this show because by his own admission, he tends to say fuck the fans. So good on you, McGee, for being so patient. What the hell is that? Oh, is that a yam? Did you just put a yam emoji in the chat? If you did, good job.
wait, in fairness, that's a half a yam, Mark.
It is. It's like it's not even the bag. It's just like a yam and a half.
So just imagine Chrissy stuck that yam inside of Sam's mouth, and that's what's left.
Oh, well, la-di-da. Also, Christy says Sam loves Thomas. He wants Thomas for Christmas. Yikes.
No. Fuck no. Christy, I love you, but no. Fuck no.
Sam, you shalt not feed on Thomas's nuts.
No, my nuts are off limits to Sam. I want his wispy little white hairs tickling my taint.
I mean, don't threaten him with a good time.
All right, I'm out.
Hey, Patsy. Drive by hello. Hey. Those are fun. Zach Anderson threw a shrimp in the hey man, Don't talk about yourself that way. You're a stand-up fella. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, throwing shrimp into the chat. Also, shrimp is awful. Like the actual seafood shrimp, it's terrible. It's awful. Like I don't get the point of it. It's dumb. But that's whatever. Your preferably. What else can we talk about other than like the big news? I'm gonna hold off on talking about that for a second. But like with the whole Deftones thing, if you're not familiar with their work, go get yourself familiar because they're a great band. They're my absolute favorite band, and you all should listen to it. And when you do, and you come across White Pony, take it all in, and then go listen to Black Stallion, the remixed album, and tell me your thoughts because you might see where I'm coming from, or you won't. You might hate White Pony, but love the remix album. I can't imagine what sort of monster you would be, but it's possible. They're not all losers. They're just unnecessarily remixed. Except there's one track. There's a song called Elite on the album, and that's easily their heaviest song in the original White Pony album. The remix version of Elite is they suddenly turned it into this industrial sort of just heavy jam. Like if you're familiar with stuff like Ministry and industrial nature, like genre like that, that's what this song has become. And that one I was digging very hard because it makes so much sense that would be the song that you would remix to. let's take the heaviest song on the album and make it heavier somehow. Boom, there it is, industrialized. It's good stuff. Christy says, McGee says, shrimp is lovely. Well, you're wrong. Sorry. But I feel like you as an East Coaster have to say that because you East Coasters love your seafood.
Okay, Mark, I gotta come in again because you're talking about East Coasters now, and I can represent.
You can, yeah.
I just want to point out, Christy loving shrimp is kind of like hating me.
Okay.
I mean, you can ask a question. You're the host of the show, or you could just leave everybody hanging there.
Ask it again.
So Christy hating shrimp is kind of like hating me.
Well, she says shrimp is lovely.
Right. Shrimp will literally kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So she loves something that will actually, like, if I eat it, will kill me.
So basically, I don't think she's suggesting that she eat it around you. So I don't know.
I also want to point out, Mark, I'm an East Coaster, and I don't love things that will kill me.
That's fair, and that's a good assessment. However, that could be taken into many different directions, because they say red meat will kill you, and it's like, well, I'm not going to stop.
Wait, Mark, I thought about it for a second. I'm pretty sure I could die having sex. I love sex, so like with some exceptions, I hate things that will kill me.
Well, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. I never went to the Subversion Nashville Nights, Christy, so thank you for rubbing that in. But I get your sentiment. But yeah, no, that remix track, that industrial sounds like you went to like a goth rave, where it's the music is a lot heavier and the fashion is a lot more fashionable if you're into the goth aesthetic. See, John, explain yourself. He did. He explained it. Don't kill John, please. She will eat all the shrimp to save your life, John. So good old McGee to save the day once again. Anaphylaxis is different, Mark. Okay, what are you coming at me for? What'd I say? Mm. Hey, McGee, are you still working on the Wonka bar? McGee has this amazing Wonka bar that's full of amazing things. And I very much would like to have some of this Wonka bar that she holds so dear. But she will not send it to me because reasons. So now I have to kind of just live vicariously through when she indulges in this said Wonka bar. And she says yes. Boom. Well, good for you. I'm still waiting on my shipment from you that will probably never get here.
Oh, you want to talk about waiting on shipments? I mean, that's what I'm dealing with right now.
Must we? Because I don't think you want to talk about it.
We have a soundbite for that.
I don't fucking care.
Boom. There it is. Yeah, poor Thomas is having to deal with just a lot of shit because one, the holidays, and one, because people are awful. Yep, and there he goes. We hardly knew you. Yeah, no, I'm a collector of steelbook Blu-rays, and the cool collector's steelbooks. And it's become an addiction that I don't like because it gets pricey. You are constantly searching and having to pre-order because if you don't get that stuff immediately, people will buy it and you'll never see it again. And then they'll try to flip it on like eBay or something and charge an exorbitant amount of money for just this cover. It's like, pump the brakes, okay? But the covers are really cool, so I like it, and I like collecting physical media, like movies. So I ordered one back in late September. It was a pre-order, and they said, well, this probably won't ship out until maybe November at the latest. Like, okay, fine, whatever. And they said, yeah, hey, it's on track. You should be getting it at the end of November. And it's already been 2 months at this point. I went, great, finally, been waiting on this. And then it didn't come in November at all. And I just the other day finally received it. And now I'm afraid that the freaking movie won't even play on my Blu-ray player because I think it's a foreign edition. And sometimes these foreign editions don't work if you have I almost said an American Blu-ray player. Like, it's not American. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like if the format is made for English or like the American or even Canadian audience, sometimes these foreign discs won't work. So I haven't tried it out yet. I haven't had the time to do it, but maybe later tonight I will. And if that's the case and it does not fucking work, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably just growl loudly. Well, I can stream it, and that's fine because it's on Prime, the movie itself. But the steelbook's nice to look at. But still, I like the idea that I can just pop this into my Blu-ray player and watch it whenever I want. But I can't do that if the fucking disc doesn't fit the format. It's dumb. I don't know. McGee says Thomas is triggered. You have no idea. In more ways than one. I almost think she could see you in that moment.
Ask him about fan leagues.
Thomas, I want you to spend the next half hour telling us all about fan leagues.
I have a lot of eloquent thoughts about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It starts with a little bit of
I don't fucking care.
And ends with a little bit of yeah.
There's a lot of that. Do you also have a clip of just a child scream crying nonstop? Because there's a lot of that too.
That's actually probably the most accurate soundbite you could possibly pick for that kind of shit.
You guys ever hear, like, whenever they use like stock sound bites of a crying baby, it's usually the same one every time. Like, it's like the same one. It's like that. That's what the fan leagues are.
Actively convey bullying and entitlement.
Yeah. All that. So yeah, we could. I'm sure if I gave Thomas the floor, he could go on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah, especially with this package thing going on simultaneoly right now.
Oh boy, no, we're not going to do that.
Keep going. This can of worms. I am going to quiet myself now.
That would require more herbal remedy, and that would require probably more drinks. So we'll save that for a rainy day, or a day when we're just all pissed off and we just have to just let out our rage in a conventional way, a la through our YouTube channel, like everyone else does. It's fine. Yes, both. What? Which part? I say a lot of things, Christy. You know that, and you know this. The lag sometimes doesn't catch up. It's fine. I'll tell you what, guys. Because it's all I can really think about the last 24 hours or such. I think it's time to get down on the business at hand. And as I do this, I will. There's a reason why tonight is called Open Bar, because I'm going to open the floor. And if you would like, I will drop in the link and you can join me and we can have a discussion, or you cannot. Maybe not.
Gimmick infringement. Gimmick infringement.
Well, I mean, is it a gimmick infringement, or is it just, hey, we're just gonna have a chat? But John Mariano, everybody, always providing the gold. And okay, so we're gonna do that now. Okay, yeah, no, no, this is my show. God damn it. Anywho, so you guys, Disney had their I guess it's their annual. It's not even an annual thing. It's this whole God, what do you call it? What's the actual name for it? It wasn't a convention. It wasn't even like, it wasn't supposed to be for the mainstream audience. It was supposed to be for the shareholders. It was a shareholders meeting. And basically Disney is like, okay, let's demonstrate to you what we have coming up on our slates in the foreseeable future. And, everything with Disney Plus going on, right? Yeah, fair. Okay, fair. Well, hey, that's on brand, because a Friday Night Dive became an episode of Pants. So, I mean, what do you want? Sometimes we just cross it over. It's fine. But I mean, if John wants to call me out on that, so be it. I will. I decline nothing. So anyway, so Disney put on this big presentation for the shareholders about what they're going to be doing in the upcoming years. And all the Disney stuff sounds fine. All that didn't really get me excited, except for like maybe one or two things. They're bringing back Mighty Ducks, which I thought was an interesting choice, but I could see it. So that will be maybe fun, but maybe not. Who knows? What I was mainly concerned with was, give me what's going on in the Star Wars universe and give me the MCU, the Marvel. And whoo boy, I wonder, Thomas, I sent you the picture of the slate for Star Wars. Can we share that and bring that up?
Yep. Give me 2 seconds, sir.
2 seconds. You got it. And for those of you out there that like give no fucks about Star Wars, that's cool, but it's worth talking about. And let's see.
I almost shared my taxes.
I mean, wouldn't do me any good. Hey, look, there's John, there's Thomas, we're all here. Say hello to everybody. Okay.
I know how to do this without us all being here.
It's fine. It's fine. So here we go. Yeah, man. Look, a lot of the stuff. Oh, there he goes. Look, I'll be honest. A lot of this stuff I was confused about. I just like missed certain bits of the presentation. The Bad Batch, I have no idea what that is. Ahsoka, on the other hand, if you guys have been watching The Mandalorian, or if you've watched the animated shows, Rebels, The Clone Wars, there's a character called Ahsoka Tano on there. And in Mandalorian, she was played by Rosario Dawson, which was a fan favorite. And now she's getting a spinoff. So basically, for those not in the know, she's basically a badass Jedi girl. And she has a pretty, and I'm only just now realizing it because I'm going back and watching the shows for the first time, the animated shows where she's the most prominent. She evidently has a really intriguing arc, very cool arc, and it's just expanding now because of Mandalorian, and she's getting her spinoff, and we're probably going to see her more, I would assume, in Mandalorian, or maybe not. Maybe this whole spinoff is a way to somewhat separate them, but they're all connected. That's basically what it all boils down to. But the one that really has me intrigued, though, is Andor, which is about Cassian Andor. If you guys saw Rogue One, the main he's like the main dude that played by Diego Luna. Cassian Andor, and his Alan Tudyk, however you say his last name, played K2SO, his droid buddy. Now we're going to get an expansion of his character and what Cassian Andor went through during the rebellion, leading up to Rogue One. And honestly, I'm here for it because I really like Diego in that in the movie, and I would be really, really curious to see what they do for his character, the early years of Cassian, as it were, and just to get him paired back up with K2SO. That's just going to be fun. So Andor is going to be a fun ride. I can't remember if they said this was going to be like 6 episodes or less or more, but 2 dicks. Yes, Alan 2 dicks. You don't want to mess with a man with 2 dicks. Bad Batch is a Clone Wars thing. Okay. Oh, so it's a spinoff of Clone Wars. Cool. I'm working through Clone Wars, so I'll get there. A droid story is apparently about it's just going to be about a new droid led by R2D2 and C3PO, so it'll be something cute for the kids, but I'm sure the adults will like it too. Let's see, but Obi-Wan Kenobi. So we can all pretty much agree. Well, maybe not. Let me rephrase. The prequels are something. The prequel movies, they're something. But collectively, one of the most consistent agreements fans seem to have was Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like, yeah, best part of the series, him. Cool. We need, and we could argue that. I mean, it's all that's subjective, but like at least personally, I'd rather watch these movies with him in the center of it than whatever Hayden Christensen's doing as Anakin. But that's a whole thing. And now he's finally coming back to the role. He's getting his own show. And if that weren't bad enough, or not bad enough, but if that weren't something, we're getting Hayden Christensen back to play Darth Vader. Here's my question. Are they going to put him on stilts? Or like, are the boots going to have some big lifts to make him look bigger than he actually is? Because Vader's a big, tall dude.
They're going full blown Hugh Jackman Wolverine here, man.
Guys, Tom Cruise had an entire career on stilts. Hayden Christensen will be fine.
False. They just have learned which angles to shoot Tom in, and what So
you'd rather movie fight me and say false than go, hey, they figured out for this entire 40-year career. I think we can figure it out for this kid who is going to be Darth Vader now, right?
All I want to know is he going to be on stilts, or are the boots going to be heavily lifted?
You literally just answered the question by saying they're going to use camera tricks.
I mean, well, they kind of have to, because Hayden Christensen is not tall, or at least compared to Ewan McGregor, he's not tall. He's probably taller than me, but most people are. It's
Michael
fine.
Keaton played Batman. He's like 4'2".
How dare you, sir? The man is 5'10". Get it right.
He is not 5'10".
He is 5'10".
He's not 5'10" in lifts.
He's 6'1" in the lifts.
He really.
And if you count the ears, he's 6'4".
Go rewatch Mr. Mom. He's like the shortest guy on the set.
I mean, I'll just rewatch Beetlejuice. I know how tall he is. Gina Davis towers over him. It's fine. The point being is, with camera tricks, I'm sure, but they're gonna have to. I mean, obviously they're gonna use a body double. But here's my thing: what's the point of bringing him back to the role when his face is covered the whole time? You know, what's the point in that? Because he's not gonna. Is he gonna use his own voice through the the voice modulator? Because
Can I give you my opinion?
Yes,
I honestly think this decision is a lot more simple than people think it is. I think it has very little to do with the quality of the show, and more to do with them showing love, respect, and admiration to someone who helped them build the brand what it is now. Regardless of how you feel about it. You know, like you're right. What are the odds that we see much, if any, of him out of a mask, right? And if we do, does that even mean he's going to be in the suit the whole time? Who knows, right? For me, it feels like one of those very Star Warsy, like we're doing this because we love it. The same reason they brought Ahsoka in, right?
Sure.
And I'm sure at some point they probably initially considered Ashley Eckstein just out of the love of it, but then realized it wasn't the right choice, right? And who knows? Maybe that's what happens with this. But again, like you said, how extensive is his role really going to be? It's not going to be Hayden Christensen doing the voice unless they have a wicked voice mod, right?
That's kind of my thing of I wonder why it would matter to bring him back unless we're going to get like some flashback scenes.
I think this is Zach. You and Zach nailed it. I think that's
there. Yeah. Well, there you go. Good job, Zach. You know what? Okay, fine. Fair enough. I'm on board, but we can agree a body double is probably going to be for the Vader stuff. Speaking of Dark Overlords, Jeff Saunders is in the chat. What's up?
Hey guys, what were y'all talking about? I wasn't paying attention.
We were just talking about this Star Wars slate and why it was necessary to bring Hayden Christensen back for Vader when we're probably not going to see his face or hear his voice at all. But then Zach came in with the zinger of you know what, probably flashback sequence.
Well, and you know the other thing, and this is I hope I'm not spoiling this for anyone that hasn't seen Star Wars Rebels, but you know there's a way they could show part of his face and still have him as the Vader character.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I've seen that scene. Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of people are speculating that as well.
I could seriously see, like, you know, if him and Obi-Wan have like a very emotional confrontation. He's not a Mandalorian, so maybe the mask comes off.
Well,
that was a Mando joke.
Well, but I know, but I was about to say something, but I was like, I don't want to say it because it could be a spoiler. But anyway, so moving on. I don't know what Rangers of the New Republic is because I missed that part of the presentation, but I'm assuming Thomas, you can tell us.
I got thoughts. Yeah. We've seen these, you know, I guess it depends on which version of this we're looking at. Right. We've seen these X-Wing pilots kind of patrolling the outskirts of the New Republic. I think it's either something like that, or it's going to be like a small squad, like boots on the ground kind of show.
I
totally wrong, but that Rangers for me indicates that kind of.
See, I see like maybe it going in some other directions, and I think maybe John does too.
Yeah, I think Thomas is way off base because they announced it earlier. And do you watch the whole announcement or just a Star Wars segment?
I watched all of it. Well, at least but I came in. I came in during the Star Wars thing, so a couple of the things I missed.
So they announced earlier that Andy Samberg and John Mulaney were playing the Rangers.
Oh,
are they? Is that this one?
This is an animated thing, right?
Yeah, they're the Rangers. It's not the animated thing. They're the Rangers. You guys are talking about the Rangers, right?
No, you're talking about the
You're talking about
Uh,
Chip and Dale, dude. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Rangers of the New Republic here. Yeah,
Aren't
I
they
know
the same
Chip and-
thing?
No, you're talking about the Adat Walker
Well,
Imperial Ranger.
It doesn't say Rescue Rangers of the New Republic, so no,
I
I'm gonna
assumed
assume
that these Rangers were going to rescue people in the New Republic.
maybe they don't. Maybe they're dicks and they just they don't rescue shit. I don't
No.
know.
I feel like my show is much better than whatever this show is going to be.
That
Well-
being said, I'm looking forward to the Chip and Dale show with those two. That's going to be hysterical.
My reason for saying that was because they're calling it a Mandalorian spinoff.
Aha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's my reason for saying that about X-Wing pilots or like a small squad.
See, this is what I'm kind of thinking, and this would be in a line with it being a spinoff of Mando, is possibly something that sticks with the Cara Dune character, or maybe we go back and see the Cobb Vanth character.
So I think you're both right.
I'd rather see Cobb.
I don't know if you're going to see Cobb in this. I think Cobb's going to come back for the Mandalorian.
Yeah, his story's told before the Mandalorian. Yeah, it's already done.
I think what you're going to get though is Thomas is right. It's going to be the X-wing dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeff's right. It's going to be Cara Dune, and I think it's going to be like a Bill Burr or somebody along those lines. And you're going to see like a couple of like these characters from the skirts of Mandalorian as a band together of like they're the Rangers.
Yeah.
Ah,
exactly.
Okay, good call. I'm in for that. That's the beauty of what Mandalorian has done. Like you've earned my trust with this really awesome show and your storytelling. So
yeah, anything that carries on that Western vibe that the Mandalorian has, I'm all on board for.
My question is this a Filoni project?
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. Well,
it's Favreau and Filoni.
Well, then there you go. So we're good. We're good. They're just gonna keep making Star Wars stuff till they die. It's cool.
Yep.
I'm fine with it. Lando. We're getting a Lando show. I assume I didn't hear the words Donald Glover, but I assume young Lando. For the love of God, please, young Lando, because let me just be real. I don't know how many more good years we have left of old Billy D. Williams.
Was it Disney or Fox that pissed him off?
Probably both. I don't know.
Oh, the Deadpool thing. Remember when him and his brother were working on that Deadpool series, and they had that like phenomenal script? And apparently
Donald Glover. Okay, that was Fox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bitterness.
Fox put the kibosh on that, and then he proceeded to tweet out the first script.
Yeah.
But that script, fake or no, was awesome.
It was like amazing.
Give
that
me
whole script was a roast, right? They were roasting Fox for whatever 15 pages or whatever it was.
Yeah. I'm very upset that they didn't. I don't understand why you don't give them the green light. When does the karaoke start? The acapella karaoke. I don't know. We'll see, Zach. We'll see. Rogue Squadron. Okay, you guys you're all. I'm sure all of you are big fans of Wonder Woman and the Wonder Woman franchise that's coming about. Well, guess what? Patty Jenkins is jumping ship from Warner Brothers. She said deuces, and now she's over here in Star Wars. She's giving us Rogue Squadron, which, again, no clue what this is going to be about because I know fuck all about the Rogue Squadron. I just know they pilot X-Wings and probably some Y ones too. I don't know. Thomas, can you provide some perspective here?
Man, yeah, Rogue Squadron was the old 64 game. The old N64.
Oh,
like
okay.
Game.
Yeah.
That's what it's based off of.
Guys, did you see the trailer? Not the one from yesterday, but the one that Patty Jenkins put out herself on her YouTube channel about this.
Oh, where she's roller skating and
stuff?
Yeah.
Well, where she's rollerblading and talking about her father being a actual fighter pilot.
Fighter pilot, yeah.
And he died saving the country, and that's what inspired her to do this. She's always wanted to do the world's greatest dogfighting movie, and finally she's doing that. That's whatever this is. Yeah. That's the pitch. Is that it's crazy dogfighting in the grit war, X-Wings, TIE fighters kind of movie.
It's essentially Top Gun in space.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But not just in space, but I'm guessing
as an
in
unabashed
valleys,
fan of Top Gun, I'm here
right?
for
In valleys, through craters, like just picture what this is going to be.
Hello there, Hansel.
Hey, Hanso.
Well, I'm good. I mean, again, I enjoy what Patty Jenkins has been doing lately, both in a producerial role as well as director. So I'm down for this. Was this going to be a series or a movie? I can't remember.
This one's a movie.
Why?
This will be the next theatrically, well, if things go back to theaters, theatrically released Star Wars film.
Yeah. We also did get a confirmation that Taika Waititi is still involved with a Star Wars feature. And we'll talk more about Taika here in just a few. Let's just say this man is now the busiest dude in Hollywood, because holy shit. But Rogue Squadron, cool. Last thing about that, what are the odds? What's the over or under that Poe Dameron shows up in this thing?
Wait, in which one? The Rogue Squadron?
Rogue Squadron.
Depending on like what era they set it in, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, I personally think it's going to be way too early.
Yeah, maybe as a kid.
Yeah, even as that, I think we'll be too early. You got to remember, Poe's conceived after the fall of the Death Star, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
his second Death Star. So
that happens. That happens after.
That was the only thing I was kind of bummed. Patty didn't really say, or Kathleen Kennedy didn't say exactly when this was going to take place. So it was like, yeah, so I guess it's a waiting game.
Yeah, in the canon, and I mean it's 3 years off, right? Like this show's not
even
2023, so.
And one that I'm really looking forward to, because we've never gotten this perspective before, at least not to the extent. Again, I'm still going through Clone Wars, and Rebels will be after that. But the Acolyte, we are going to get a look at life as a Sith apprentice, if I'm understanding that correct. At first, I was like, is this a backdoor pilot or such for a Darth Bane thing? Because I'm a very big fan of that Darth Bane trilogy, and I feel like it's only a matter of time before we reintroduce him into canon. I know he was mentioned briefly in Clone Wars with Yoda and everything like that. That's what I thought this was, and I don't think that's what this is. But now we get a look at life as a Sith Lord, or as a Sith apprentice. We get that side of it all, and we've never really gotten that full story. So I think this will be pretty cool. I don't know if no word as to. I probably should have looked that up. I'm not sure who's doing this series or whatever, but
it's I believe each one, it's kind of like an anthology. Talking about like the Vision still, I believe it's an anthology where everyone is done by a different anime studio.
Oh, I meant the Acolyte.
Oh, sorry, apologize.
But as you say, Visions. There you go. That's anthology. But but the Acolyte, I'm not sure who's doing that, but just based on the description of what it's supposed to be, I'm intrigued.
So what do you think that is going to be more? Like, are you reading into that kind of update about that show at all? Do you have any ideas as to what it's?
Well, like I said, at first glance, I thought this was sort of their way of going into the Darth Bane sort of rule of two, sort of motif ideas. I don't know that that's what this is, but if it is, I'm very much here for it, because, as I just said, I'm a big fan of the.
Yeah, I think, and I haven't really been able to keep up because of work and stuff this week, but I think that I read that the main character in this is supposed to be a female.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep. So it kind of made me think of Ventress at first.
But that could also tie into, because Darth Bane's apprentice was this female.
And I think that's more likely, because one of the things that we did announce during the investors call was that this would be in a new part, like new timeline. New part of the timeline.
Okay, cool.
So I heard something yesterday. I don't know how true it was, that this is 200 years before, I guess, Phantom Menace. So Thomas probably has a better idea of who's around at that point than
That's like what Mark just said.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like the beginnings in Star Wars. Like the old canon was so convoluted because of how far they wanted to have all these gaps that they could
Mhm.
do with what they wanted, but it left a lot of gaps.
He's
So now what they're doing is shrinking those timelines a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So I think
He's
that 300 year mark would work really well.
Is I know that like there's a big push right now for this new era called the High Republic
Mhm.
throughout all across the media. Is
Yeah,
this going to tie into that era?
To be honest, I have no idea. I don't have the innate like fondness
Mhm.
for the Old Republic that a lot of people do. I really like the ideas of it.
Well,
Again,
this isn't old. These guys are high. It's the High Republic.
They're high. They're so high, Thomas. You're
Yeah,
gonna run.
yeah.
I believe that High Republic is just the name of the series.
Wait.
Well,
Can we
maybe,
travel
maybe
down
not.
Jeff's rabbit hole for a minute though? Like, can somebody give me like the Dazed and Confused or Cheech and Chong Star Wars movie or show? Like, I don't care what that is.
That's why I wanted the Guillermo del Toro the Guillermo del Toro.
I don't know about this, but before we completely derail this, I kind of think Taika Waititi's movie is going to be Sheev, Hate, and Force Thunder.
Wow. that was just
Sorry.
swing and a miss.
But yeah, so I mean, and more or less, so that's what we got going on in the pipeline for Star Wars, and that's
I got it, guys. I got it.
Yeah,
Taika
yeah,
Waititi's movie.
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows of the Empire.
That's the best one right there.
bravo.
All right, you want me to pull up the other graphic?
Yeah, it's time for me to really nerd out. So if you guys are still hanging with us for that whole thing, just you wait, because I sat through a lot of random Disney crap, not crap. I apologize, but stuff, random Disney stuff that I didn't care about to get to the Marvel template.
Ooh.
And basically, Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, the producer of all these films, the guy that keeps this thing going, he did what he always does at these presentations. He basically took out his giant Marvel schlong and slapped everyone in the face with it.
Mhm.
And here we are, the marker of the schlong. We are getting, I mean, we were starting to hear some rumors about the next Ant-Man movie, and this one's going to be called Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, because it's goofy like that.
Now that so sounds like a new Disney ride where you have to shoot at targets.
You know,
As you're going through.
you joke, but how much you want to bet they do make a ride out of the quantum realm and stuff if they haven't already. They made a Guardians ride, so surely they will make a quantum realm. Here's my thing though. It's called Quantumania, so we can assume that they're going to be exploring the quantum realm even further than they already have, a la Ant-Man and the Wasp and Endgame. But now they're introducing Kang the Conqueror. You guys, Kang the Conqueror, pissed off, just like angry concrete. He wishes he was Alexander the Great, but he's not. But he's still going to conquer anyway because time travel, and he can control it. My thing is, why Kang the Conqueror for Ant-Man and the Wasp? He's like an Avengers level villain.
You know
so
why?
it's
Because no one takes Kang seriously anymore.
Fair enough, but they
For
should.
20 years, he's been a joke.
Mm-hmm.
You guys really haven't put this all together yet, have you?
I know that the quantum realm is basically their answer for time travel, and I'm sure based on everything that has occurred in the MCU, time travel based, the fact that there's probably branches of reality that have been that have grown because of a certain somebody with a shield decided not to clip all of them.
Oh, and we got the TVA in the Loki.
Yeah. Yeah,
and then there's that, and then there's that.
Right, stop playing Steve Rogers for Loki's, and Tony Stark screwed this up. Right, spoiler alert. Right, if Tony Stark, Loki wouldn't have it. We wouldn't have a branch. It would all be fine. Tony Stark's the one who blew this up.
Well, I mean, I've always said that the greatest villain of the MCU is not Thanos, it's Tony, and you can trace that all the way back to it. Every villain, just about in the MCU, has been because of Tony. So all the bad shit has happened because of Tony.
But to answer your question about Kang, I think I strongly feel that it's because Kang is going to get unleashed in Ant-Man. Like they're going to kind of do something to kind of bring Kang forth, and the Fantastic Four are following Kang out of the quantum realm.
Ooh, I mean, that could be an easy tie-in. For those not in the know, they say Kang is a very distant relative of Reed Richards. And now that we have a casting for Kang, I am blanking on his name, but you know him from Lovecraft Country and The Five Bloods. Phenomenal actor. He's really great. He's playing Kang. So now we can get a kind of an idea of probably where they're going to go in casting Reed Richards. So that's kind of cool. I like John's idea that the Fantastic Four are following him out, and that's how we meet him. However, I don't think that's how we're going to meet Fantastic Four, and I'll get to that. But yeah, Kang the Conqueror is going to be the villain in an Ant-Man movie. Didn't see that coming, but hey, here we go. It's Quantumania. Should be fun. We'll see. And of course, we already knew that the Eternals were coming out. To be quite frank with you, I have not read a lot of the Eternals, so I can't tell you much. And I'm actually excited about that because I want to go into this thing pretty damn fresh. And I want to be able to just sit back, enjoy it, know practically nothing about these characters, and just learn and just enjoy it.
That's a huge thing with Eternals, man, that I honestly think you're going to love more than anything. That there is no way that they can do the Eternals how we know them. It just just not possible with the way the MCU is set up now.
True.
So I'm fascinated by it, man. There's a lot of good characters that they've brought in for this movie. There's a lot of good actors. There is no way they're going to make it anything close to what we know, which is
probably not.
Yeah, nice change.
It is. If they want to include the whole the deviant angle, because I mean we've already been introduced to Thanos and like he's connected, like his father is an Eternal. So if they want to do that, I guess they could. They did say Thanos' dad's name when him and Gamora go to Vormir to find the Soul Stone. Red Skull says Thanos, son of Alars. It's like, ooh, he's an Eternal. That's about it. That's as far as my extensive knowledge really goes. So if they want to play that angle, they can, but I doubt they will. I think you're right. I think this is their reset button of just you know what, let's make our own thing with this. It literally can be whatever we want.
I think the only thing we might see tied in directly to that movie is there's been that fan theory for a lot of years that Quill's mom was like the host for Eternity. And that would really play well into this movie, and it would explain a lot with Ego.
That's an interesting theory.
I'll send it to you. It's really well thought out. I'm not big on fan theories, but it's a really smart one. It really is. Yeah, it's really good. Like I almost would be shocked if it didn't happen.
Interesting. I used to love fan theories until they got so far-fetched and so wrong that I just went, stop it. I can't read this stuff anymore.
You don't believe that Rhaegar was Jaqen H'ghar all along?
No, I believe Bran is the Night King.
There you go. That's true. 100%. That's
God.
fact.
Go to hell.
Can't be argued.
Oh my God. But yeah, Zach, you're right. Kit Harington is in it playing, wait for it, Black Knight. So it's going to be a real stretch for him. But he's being reunited with his Stark brother, Richard Madden. He is playing the character Icarus, which I guess he's the lead because it's Richard Madden. Why wouldn't you? Hey, look, there's Black Knight.
Wait. Does the Black Knight ever know what's going on?
Black Knight knows nothing, apparently.
Okay, because so it won't be a stretch. I just wanted to check.
Correct.
That was a great double reference. Good job, boys.
You're welcome. Moving along, it's kind of going all over the place. Ironheart, I mean, that about the character Riri, who is basically the next Iron Man when Iron Man isn't a thing anymore. the writing was on the wall on that one. I mean, everyone saw that coming. I haven't read really any Ironheart, so I'm sure her character is really cool. Maybe once I start learning more about what they're doing with this movie, it'll get me interested, and I'll read some books and we'll figure it out. But evidently, very super smart girl who creates her own iron suit that is equal to or more powerful than whatever Tony would come up with, which is interesting considering we've had 10 years to watch Tony evolve his suits, and he's got the nanotech, so I don't know what this girl's going to come up with that's going to like supersede that. Let him do this. No, I agree, because I've seen Kit do not his thing and it's not good. So yeah, let's just let him do his thing. I agree. But speaking of iron suits, we're getting I believe it's series actually, Armor Wars. And this one's going to star Don Cheadle as Rhodey. Rhodey's coming back, and the whole premise of this is what happens when the iron suits fall into the wrong hands, which is what Tony was trying to prevent that whole time. But as I've already discussed, everything bad in the MCU is Tony's fault. So here we go. We're just going to see
so
more.
Do we get Hammer Tech back?
We absolutely get Hammer Tech back. There is no chance we don't. There's no chance we don't.
Sam Rockwell was just way too perfect in that, and not bring him back is a grave mistake.
I feel like they've been trying to figure out a way to bring him back this whole time, but they've just never found the perfect, especially since they're telling the overall arc they were telling. I could see why they would feel like they were stuck.
Yep.
But enter Disney Plus. You literally have a limitless universe to do whatever the hell you want. And also, not for nothing, but Don Cheadle is, I think, a treasure. And you don't like he's good as Rhodey, but he hasn't had anything substantial to do as Rhodey in the MCUs thus far.
The Civil War stuff is the kind of the height of that for him, and even
pretty much
the event of what happens, he's kind of sidelined.
Right. And I thought Endgame was going to sort of kind of boost him up a little bit, but it really didn't, because they couldn't, because they had everything else to wrap up. So I get it. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see who they pull out for that show. Yeah, like I said, I will bet all of my savings and my bank account that Justin Hammer shows up for this thing. It would be ridiculous not to have him.
Yeah, and I mean, they repeatedly referenced him. Like, I know the Netflix stuff. I mean, as of now,
yeah,
I have lots of thoughts about that, and it's totally a part of things. It's not gone, but the Netflix stuff consistently references Hammer Tech.
Yeah, like
shows up, he's using Hammer Tech.
In Luke Cage, all of the high tech stuff was Hammer Tech. They like made it a point to tell us, hey, this is Hammer Tech. And I remember watching my brother going, so is Justin, is he going to show up? Like, is he out of prison? Like, what's up?
Yep.
So it's just a matter of time.
I think there may have been thoughts with Justin Hammer around Defenders.
Speaking of yeah,
I was saying,
probably
there may have been thoughts around him as like the second season villain for Defenders or something like that. Because they're like,
really? They should have just yeah. He should have probably been their first villain for season 1, but they were so adamant about the hand stuff and hand stuff. Yeah, all that. But yeah, crash and burn. But do you have thoughts, John?
No, I just wanted to participate in this part of the conversation.
Oh, okay.
Hand stuff.
Okay. I know what the next.
Hand stuff. Oh, gotcha.
I thought he was talking about the next movie.
No, it's just like hand stuff.
What's coming next?
John is. But speaking of a matter of time, it was only a matter of time before we were going to get the Secret Invasion, because you introduce Skrulls. The biggest storyline other than the Kree-Skrull War that the Skrulls are a part of is the Secret Invasion stuff. And we knew that Sam Jackson was getting his own Disney Plus series. We just didn't know what it was going to be. I was confused as to what it was going to be. And now here it is, Secret Invasion. So he's returning. We're getting Ben Mendelsohn returning as his character Talos. And according to Feige, they're all those Skrulls that they were trying to round up, some of them went rogue. And now they've infiltrated Earth, and they're disguised as people that we probably know, maybe even heroes, if they're going to follow any part of the comics. Now, this is an easy... Okay, I'm going to throw this out here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we get a nod, an early nod to the Secret Invasion somewhere in Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we already got it.
We probably have. There's a few moments in even Captain Marvel, and I've talked to people about it. I said there's some stuff in Captain Marvel,
dude. Far From Home.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I know Far From Home. They introduced the sword concept, and like, oh look, Talos and his wife are Nick and Maria this whole time. But there's a moment in the daughter of Talos in Captain Marvel where she's being exposed to the horrors of war, and I think she is going to be the one to lead the rogue set of Skrulls that infiltrate.
I like that. Really good. We just rewatched Captain Marvel too, so I'm with that, man.
And I think and there's a moment when she's playing at the end when she's playing with young Monica. And Monica says, "I love your eyes. Never change your eyes," which is a story point for the Skrull Queen when she's in disguise. Her eye color never changes, and no one suspects it.
Yep.
So, like, they went out of their way to throw that line at us real hard.
Yep.
So, So I knew back then. I said, I think, at some point we're getting Secret Invasion. I just don't know how they're going to do it.
So
now we know.
How did you feel about that little tease in WandaVision with Monica?
Well, they had said Monica was going to be in this show. As to why she's there is still very much unclear. But I'm loving it. I think WandaVision. We segue right into WandaVision. This show looks bonkers bananas, and I'm here for it. It's basically we're combining two very popular storylines that are not that. One's very recent and one's only a few years old. And they're combining them somehow to make it a cohesive thing. I'm here for it.
Yeah, Tom King's vision is like, I mean, I've collected comics my whole life, right? Tom King's vision is arguably one of my favorite 12-issue runs in history.
I still haven't read it, but I've heard good things. I own it. I just haven't cracked it open. Incredibly
rereadable, like more so than most comic books. Filled with heart in the wackiest places that you would not expect. Like it's weird to say this, but I almost feel like WandaVision more often than not maybe feel good. And
it could be
weird thing to say, but I honestly think it may be.
Well, this is the one that's bringing Darcy back, right?
Yes. Which, but fine.
I actually thought that you'd be very. I figured you'd be very excited about this, Mark.
I like Kat Dennings, but her as Darcy is, I mean, one of many useless characters in the MCU.
But you knew they were going to bring her back as soon as they announced Jane Foster Thor, right?
Yeah, but they haven't officially said she's coming back for Thor. She probably will.
Yeah, no, she's the new Avenger. Just regular old Jane Foster.
My thing is, I'm just pissed off that we didn't get any updates on whether or not fucking Eric Selvig's coming back. Stellan Skarsgård's character, right. Like I like him.
Yep.
Like, bring him back.
I need more nude mad scientist moments.
Yes, like make him go crazy again. Maybe he shows up in Loki. That'll be cool.
Fantastic. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good place for him.
Oh, for God's no, don't do it. No. Oh my God. Anyway, it's fine. Whatever. We'll get past it. I was going somewhere with it. Distracted by this topless beast.
You wanted a nude mad scientist. I'm scientish. I'm here.
We did. We asked for that. Dr. Horrible indeed. But yeah, WandaVision. That's next month, man. That's going to be some crazy stuff. I think you're right, Thomas. I think it is going to be very heartfelt in most places. But also my excitement for this is we're finally going to see the things Wanda can really do that they have not explored yet in the MCU. Because a lot of people I talked to who they said, we like Scarlet Witch, but I mean, she doesn't seem all that powerful. I was like, oh, she is. They just haven't explored the true depths of her abilities. It's going to get nuts. And anytime you can bring back Paul Bettany as Vision, I'm here for it. It's fine. And then, while we're on the subject of the series, we finally got a trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And it looks pretty much how I thought it was going to look. Old Bucky and Sam are... I guess they're kind of on the run because they, the government wants to remake a Captain America, and they're all like, nope, nah, bro, not going to happen. They're like, well, fuck you. We're going to make it happen.
So can I call right now what the amazing spinoff of this is going to be?
You think there's going to be a spinoff from this?
100%. Captain Britain, man.
Ah.
Oh,
yeah, I think so too. 100%. Yeah,
and if they can snag Henry Cavill, they're going to.
Oh,
we also see in that trailer at one point a person that is much larger than either of them in a Cap costume.
That I think is supposed to be U.S. Agent, which is played by Wyatt Russell, because he's supposed to be in the show playing U.S. Agent, and
okay, I didn't know that. That is absolutely what that is, 100%.
And I remember they did, every once in a while they'll release the artist renderings of character designs.
Yep.
And they did one of Wyatt in what looks very, very much like Cap's gear, and it was like U.S. Agent. I was like, oh, so confirmed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
in between Cap substitute already in Wyatt Russell.
That's who that. Yeah, so that's who that is. But good call though on Captain Britain. This would be the perfect time to introduce him, and if it goes over well. Is it weird though? I would rather see Henry Cavill as the Marvel Hercules.
I think that's fantastic. My thing is, I don't know how, especially in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
if you think about the MCU, how well does the Marvel's Hercules actually fit into that?
You would have to talk to someone who's steeped way more in depth into that level of Marvel. Because
lots of Marvel's Hercules comics, and I can tell you right now, I genuinely don't believe that there's a way to effectively fit that character in, unless they do like what they're doing with Eternals, where it's going to be like a version of the character we like barely recognize, but still enjoy.
Yeah. Right? Yes. For those of you not in the know, not only does Marvel have Norse mythology characters, but also Greek, because there is a Hercules character, and they like him and Thor like to fight a lot, but and drink a lot too, and that's great.
Yeah, I could actually see some of those those types of characters of that tier like popping up on She-Hulk as just sort of cameos, because I think that show is going to be rife for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good call. One of two ways with She-Hulk. It either ends up being, I think was it John that said this, like Boston Legal in the MCU, basically, or it ends up being like Jeff said, where it's like half Boston Legal and then just half absolutely batshit insane.
Yeah,
and I think either of those work for me.
I think it's both. I think and then half batshit crazy. Exhibit A, they're reintroducing Tim Roth's Abomination character into the She-Hulk series. So what other reason to bring him back other than we're going batshit bonkers with this? My question to everyone is, if we're bringing back Abomination, wouldn't it stand to reason that we bring back Dr. Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader?
Yes.
100%. And they've kept Ross in all of this to keep that connective tissue there.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And there was even a rumor going around that in She-Hulk, Ross, like he does in the comics, becomes Red Hulk. They're saying they might go that angle too, although I don't know if we're ready for that, but who knows?
My only thought, do we know who's playing Jess yet?
Tatiana, what's her last name from Orphan Black?
Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, which she was rumored to not that long ago, but she never confirmed it. But Kevin Feige confirmed, she's playing Jennifer. So yeah, we're getting She-Hulk. It's gonna happen, and they're bringing in Ruffalo to play Bruce. And since Ruffalo is Professor Hulk, this thing is going to be CG heavy. So I'll be very, very curious to see. Oh, and he made a point to say how, Jennifer is going to be, this big green woman like she's depicted in the comics. So yeah, Tatiana, on the other hand, is a very petite lady, so she is going to be CG'd all to hell. But with the technology we have, I think it'll work. I think it'll be great. But we'll see. We'll see if the audience is on board for it. You know what the audience is probably going to be on board for is a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, and James Gunn's coming back to do this. And he said on Instagram today, he posted about it, and he said, I unironically loved the Star Wars special when I was a kid, even though it's unanimously the Star Wars holiday special is one of the worst things ever. But James Gunn loved it, and he said that he had a private joke with Kevin that I would love to do a holiday special with the Guardians, and they would have a good laugh. And I guess Kevin thought, you know what? Do that. We have a streaming platform. Why not? There's literally, we can't lose. It'll be hilarious. You can write it, you can direct it. It'll be great. So we're getting a holiday special with the Guardians. I'm here for it. Why not? It'll be the closest thing we get to Guardians 3 until Guardians 3, which won't happen until about 2023, I think he said.
I love the 5-second pause there where you were thinking about what was in between, and then you're like, well, until Guardians 3.
Because it's just like we've been waiting so long for Guardians 3, and because of all the drama of what's happened in the time in between, it's like, oh, this, and we're still not going to get it for another few years, and it's just like, fuck it. It is what it is. But Shang-Chi, we're getting that one's already moving along pretty good. For those of you not in the know, imagine if Bruce Lee was a superhero in the Marvel universe. Yep. That's Shang-Chi. Yep. And he's super badass. And in hindsight, because they didn't know what to do with him, they shouldn't have made an Iron Fist show. They should have made a Shang-Chi show on Netflix, and that would have gone over, I think, a little bit better depending on the showrunner. But to help,
we need Fing Fang Foom. We don't. No Shang-Chi. No Shang-Chi on Netflix. We need Shang-Chi in movies.
Fair enough.
They did this well. I agree, though. Iron Fist.
No, you know what? You're right. Yeah, fair enough. And we're bringing. It's called The Legend of the Ten Rings. So we're going back to the beginning, folks. If you remember the first Iron Man, the terrorist group that kidnapped Tony, the Ten Rings, but we didn't get the full extent because we didn't get the Mandarin. And I won't even speak about Iron Man 3 because I hate that movie. But whatever. But we're getting legit, out of control, batshit nutty 10 rings, and we're getting the Mandarin.
So here's my question for you. I know that we're talking. I mentioned this earlier. I genuinely feel like the Netflix stuff is gonna make its way back in. They put way too much effort into making it a part of this world.
Mm-hmm.
I know lots of people have feelings about Finn Jones' Danny Rand. I do too. I grew up reading Iron Fist, and Heroes for Hire is still to this day one of my favorite joint series.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot about that show, despite that miss frequently. There was a lot about that show that I loved, and I actually think can save that character and that show with that actor. I think they simply need to shift it into Immortal Iron Fist. And we know, where is Shang-Chi from, Mark?
If I'm not mistaken, is he from Kunlun?
Kunlun, yep. And the only other time we've seen Kunlun is in Iron Fist. So
ever so briefly, but yes,
right, yeah. And I mean frequently referenced though in Iron Fist.
Yeah, right? Oh yeah, he'll tell anyone who listens. I will say, season 2, they were getting back on track because season 1 was a mess, and I wanted to defend it so hard, and I just couldn't.
But headed for the battle between Danny and Luke, right? That would eventually lead to them, pop shop and running Heroes for Hire out of it, right?
Yeah. That's actually my favorite episode of Luke Cage. The season. It was season 2 when Danny shows up and it's just like, "Hey, I need your help real quick." And it's like, Heroes for Hire. This is what this show should have been. Oh my God, why did you? Oh,
yeah. That's for sure.
But you're probably right. They're gonna you know what? Let's to hell with it. Let's talk about it. So Phase 4 is going to be all about the multiverse. Okay, we've gotten a little snippets of dialogue about the multiverse. We thought we were going to get a little bit of it in Far From Home. Spoiler alert, we didn't. But before that, in Doctor Strange, we are told point blank that not only is there a multiverse, it's the job of the Sorcerer Supreme to look over all of them, because evidently the Sorcerer Supreme in the MCU right now is the one that is the one throughout all different multiverses, all the multiverse. There is one Sorcerer Supreme. So that's old Doctor Strange, which is why we're getting the Multiverse of Madness. And Wanda's going to tie into it because I hate to break it to you, but Wanda's going to lose her absolute goddamn mind.
Oh, yeah.
Like, WandaVision is probably going to end on a very, very bad note, but in a very spectacular way. And we know she's coming into the Doctor Strange movie, the Multiverse of Madness. I mean, it's all in the title. So not only that, Kevin Feige decided we're gonna double down, we're gonna triple down on all of that, because now, and he even made a quick reference. He couldn't do a demonstration because it's still technically a Sony property, but he made a quick reference that, hey, we're gonna explore this in the next Spider-Man movie too. Yeah, no shit, because every day for the past month we have gotten a casting update on
Emma Stone, Kirsten Dunst, Andrew Garfield. What's his name? Alfred Molina. I'm like, who next?
Yeah, like literally everyone. Willem Dafoe is all but confirmed at this point.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well.
You know, it's like we are literally bringing back everybody for this Spider-Man movie.
How mad would you be if they tease it like it's Willem Dafoe, like Tobey Maguire jumps out and they tease Green Goblin and it ends up being Dane DeHaan?
Oh God, no.
I mean,
I'm sorry to laugh, but that would just be the greatest bait and switch. And they just have someone kill him, like Taskmaster, or like.
I mean, if that's the case, then I would enjoy it greatly. That would make me laugh so hard. And now that you've put it out there into the universe, if I do get that, I will be the loudest one laughing.
Okay. After that last comment, I just want to, if Kevin Feige is watching, Thomas from Mephisto. Let's start that going.
What?
Ooh.
Mephisto? Hell yeah. Give me that.
Yeah. Well, you want to start dropping hot takes like Dane DeHaan's going to show up? You can be Mephisto all day, every day, my friend.
Not a hot take. I do not agree. No, I don't want Dane DeHaan.
Spider-Man. And the title for Spider-Man 4 is oh shit, what is it?
Dane DeHaan.
One Day More. Was that the what was the comic storyline with Mephisto and Spider-Man that everyone hated? One More Day, something like that. Anyway, never mind. That joke didn't work. They might as well bring Mephisto into this. I mean, if they're going to introduce a multiverse of madness, if we're going to get a Spider-Man 3 movie with all the Spider-Man, then I mean, why not?
So do you think the Mind Stone finally does Wanda in like it did Tony and Thanos? I think that's what happens. She uses it way too much.
Well, what do you mean?
I think she uses it like she uses her power stem from the Mind Stone, right? Wanda's power.
Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean. All right.
Basically, my thought is it overtakes her in this process of her trying to create this world for her and Vision to live. She's so constantly using this power that it, well, like you said, she goes batshit, and Multiverse of Madness is essentially her fault.
I wonder if because she obviously manifests Vision back, at least in some way. So I wonder if by doing that, she kind of indirectly brings back the Mind Stone itself because it's in Vision's head, and maybe that does something to her.
Yeah, that's like kind of my thought.
Yeah,
bring Vision back. You almost have to, unless she brings back. This is the thing. So unless they're really trying to swerve us here, and the Vision that we see is not real at all.
That's a big oof there, Zach.
Good chance that Vision is just entirely her creation, much like Vision family in the Vision comic book.
Yeah. Well, I think Vision is definitely just a creation in her mind for that whole thing. And I love the posters that they keep putting out on Instagram, where everything looks fine, but you can see like the wallpaper ripped, and behind it is just looks like something Doctor Strange went through, just like this crazy universal abyss.
This is just something that like kind of tickled my brain. And I may be way off, but would it be outside the realm of possibility that these stones, like the Mind Stone, they let out energy, in real life? If we're exposed to certain energies, it mutates our cells.
Yes.
Well,
and
yeah.
We talked about Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm.
Who else's powers stem from a stone?
Yeah. Well, and see, that's the thing. Captain Marvel is powered by the Tesseract. Wanda is powered by the Mind Stone. Also,
Monica Rambeau's extra dimensional, whatever the hell they
yeah.
call it.
Oh, so maybe that's where she gets her powers by.
Yeah. I mean, all of these.
You're onto something.
All of these mortals, in the MCU, they've been, since this thing kicked off, however many years ago, they've been dabbling with and playing with powers that they don't know anything about.
They even made a mention at the beginning of Avengers when they're when the Tesseract is before Loki shows up, and it's just kind of like behaving, as they say. Selvig mentions that it's putting off a little bit of radiation, nothing harmful, just gamma radiation, whatever. And Fury said, no, that can be harmful. So right away we know that the Tesseract, or all the stones, in fact, are capable of putting out these energies. And if you're around it or get close enough to it, it can affect you. So that, I think, is how we're going to get Monica Rambeau's powers. Could be the easy way that we get mutants in the MCU. They are going to reintroduce Inhumans because we're getting a Miss Marvel show, and Miss Marvel is an Inhuman. They even said today there was a casting of a character that's going to be on the show who is an Inhuman. So I guess my thing is, I wonder if they're going to retcon the train wreck of the Inhuman TV show that they tried to do, or are they going to just go with it? I don't know.
No, go with it. Nothing has sucked harder that Marvel has done than that Inhuman series. Nothing.
They basically sabotaged it.
I would watch Amazing Spider-Man 2 on repeat before I ever watched one more episode of the Inhumans TV show.
Yeah, all you Disney Plusers, if you've seen Inhumans on Disney Plus in the Marvel section, I implore you, do not watch it. It is. It sucks because there's some good people involved in it, but it is just not a good show.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just going to say, it ties in a lot with what they did on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Inhuman storylines, too.
And that's the problem, is they doubled down so hard on the Inhuman prospect, because at the time they're like, well, the Inhumans will be our X-Men since we can't have the X-Men. But they just didn't. It was just a sloppy mess. And
the castings and the Black Bolt casting were terrible. Anson Mount is Anson Mount.
Mount, yeah.
Anson Mount is a great actor.
He was
terrible in that program.
So I just want to bring you guys into my headcanon of how this all went down.
Sure.
Okay. So at the time, there were Feige and then the dude who was in charge of Marvel TV. Right?
Jeff Loeb.
So they're like, yeah. So they're like, Jeff Loeb's like, I know how to do really good storytelling, and he's like, and Feige's like, yeah, sure, cool. You give that a shot. So he does, right? And it sucks, right? Mm-hmm. It sucks hard. And then he's like, not only does it suck, I'm going to make the Inhumans, right? It sucked on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It got worse. Mm-hmm. So Inhumans comes out, and they're like, Feige goes to Disney, like they talk, like whoever at Disney, and they're like, how do we fix this? And Feige's like, why don't we just buy Fox? And that's what they do.
Why don't we just buy it? Like, oh, okay. We can do that? Like, yeah, turns out we can. Legally? Yeah.
Consistently mic drops on the dive. Like, he doesn't stay in.
And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we're all having a totally normal like roundtable conversation, this movie's
But
good in here.
But I like how he does it. He's in and out. He says his piece and he's like bye, and then it's like I'll be back.
In my head canon, he steps away because what he said was so hot. He's got to take his shirt off again.
That's welcome to Headcanon, everybody. That's a different show, but whatever. Old Hansel is absolutely correct. Roger Corman's Fantastic Four was better than Inhumans. And you want to talk about a sabotage project? My God. If you guys haven't watched the documentary on that movie, Doomed, you should, because it is quite enlightening. And not always for the better, but enlightening. It's good. So yeah, we're getting a multiverse of madness with Doctor Strange, and then he's going to jump on over to Spider-Man's world because we're getting a Spider-Verse live action. Spider-Man 3, all the Spider peoples. It would not shock me if Emma Stone shows up in this movie as Gwen Stacy, but she's a different universe Gwen Stacy, and she's Spider-Gwen. Would not shock me.
Yeah.
You go first, Thomas.
We need everything. I'm cool with
yes.
I'm cool with Andrew Garfield. There's nothing else I want more than Shameik Moore as Miles Morales.
And Bono and Edge and Broadway Spider-Man.
Yes. Done.
Turn off the dark, indeed. It's just a Spider-Man that just can't seem to get off the ground. He just fails every step of the way.
For you. You remember when Miles first puts his costume on and into the Spider-Verse? And there's that POV shot of him looking at his hands? Picture that shifting from animation to live action.
Ooh.
And the voice goes from like the more animated, like, kind of character-y version to like regular old Shameik Moore's like talking voice. And he's like, whoa. And then like in the street below him, 2 Spider-Men swing by.
I could see that. I guess my only concern would be because he's a little bit on the older side now than what Miles is supposed to be, even though his voice.
True. That's very true. Yeah.
But then again, technology, they can do anything. It's fine.
It's fine too. He could be an older version of Miles for all I care.
That's
right. Let's not play around. Just give him his due and let him.
He's the same age as Tom Holland.
Right.
Oh well, then fuck it. Okay.
So if you really want to mess around with it, you can also. I was gonna say, Donald Glover really badly wanted to play Peter Parker at one point.
Yeah,
he was really stumping for it. Do that too, right? Like just anybody who's ever wanted to be Spider-Man, let them be Spider-Man.
Well, Donald Glover was Peter B. Parker.
Yeah,
isn't Donald Glover the Prowler?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna introduce Shameik Moore as like the live action Miles, then make that Donald Glover's Prowler character. Since was
Donald Glover the Prowler in that movie, I don't even remember.
He plays Aaron Davis in Homecoming, which in
Homecoming he does.
Yes,
the animated one.
Oh no, that's
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah,
he's Blade.
And he's Blade, we're getting Blade at some point. That
would be very interesting if the animated Prowler shows up and Blade kills him.
Ooh,
so are they going to start using Blade?
Kills him. He's like, "You're welcome," and he just like leaves.
Whips the blood off.
Is it just me, or like, as much as I want a new Blade movie, and I am all for Mahershala playing him,
I'm putting on the store
series. Like, yes, that this orgy always has merch, always. And then of course Black Widow. We should have already gotten it. We'll get it eventually. It's coming. Taika Waititi is still on board for another Thor Love and Thunder, and I don't know when he's going to have the time to finish this and direct it, when he is now hard at work doing a Star Wars picture, which I'm sure is taking up all of his time. I don't know how these people go back and forth from one project to the next, especially when they are on like the scale that they're on. John.
Steven Spielberg edited Schindler's List and Jurassic Park at the same time. Anything's possible.
That's true.
I mean, you're not wrong, but One is significantly less big than the other. Not less impactful, of course, but you know.
Just so bad.
You're right. You know what? That's my fault. Anything is possible. It's true. McGee says Taika is daddy.
I thought I was.
Well, yeah. Is Thomas daddy or is Taika? You need to make a decision.
Right there.
Yeah. We can't make that shirt. Taika is daddy. We already have Thomas is daddy.
I just did that 5 times for DADDY.
There you go. Love and Thunder. The only news that really broke from this that was the confirmation that Christian Bale is. We knew he was going to be playing a villain. We didn't know which villain. Officially, he is playing Gore, the God Butcher.
I went back and looked. You and I called this day of that announcement.
We did. I said it. The only one that makes sense because Taika made a point to say Love and Thunder was going to be based on the Jason Aaron run.
Yeah.
The only huge villain, I mean, other than Loki, and then like if you get into the War of Realms stuff, Malekith, but that's done. The only impactful villain in that run is Gore. So yeah, it just makes sense. Here's my problem. Good night, Christy. Thank you for joining. Yeah, you have a very early morning. I know. Look at that. McGee says Thomas is my daddy. Taika is daddy.
There you go. Thank you, Christy.
Who's your daddy, McGee? Thomas is your daddy. Taika can be my daddy any day. Good for you, Zach. Is he gonna walk Danielle down the aisle? That would be funny. Was that mean? Was that disrespectful? I apologize.
No, it was just so off cuff.
But bringing it back. Now here's my only bit of criticism, and because I have to throw it out. I really enjoy what Taika has been doing lately in all of his projects. I think he does a really good job of balancing super silly humor with really dramatic situations. But Gore the God Butcher is a terrifying villain. Like, he's a monster, this guy. And you're getting Christian Bale to play him. Do you think they're going to play him way too jokey?
No, I think they're going to have him kill Surtur.
Ooh.
Because we've seen the joke. The joke was Surtur. The joke was, I can hang here and make fun of you as I spin around. That was we're making a joke out of a big character. I think Gore is going to come in and be the opposite of what we expect from a Taika Waititi villain. And I think we are going to get the Gore that we think we're going to get.
I hope so. That's my hope, because like I didn't expect to when I started reading that run, I didn't expect to like Gore at all. I just thought he's like, this guy looks goofy as shit. Like, how long is it going to take Thor to just like destroy this dude? And the answer was it didn't.
Guys, the villain of Ragnarok was Hela, and Hela was a lot more serious than everybody that you just mentioned. And I feel like this is going to be Hela on steroids.
Yeah, that's a solid comparison.
But even Hela had her moments of she's making a joke, is like, oh, okay, we're getting a little jokey here.
I literally just said Hela on steroids.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. There were some of the, to be honest, that movie is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Oh, I love it.
Screams Jack Kirby. That's why I love that movie.
For sure.
It's the hands down the most Kirby-esque thing we've ever gotten from Marvel. Maybe unless you lean into Guardians Volume 2 a little bit and take the stuff he was involved in.
But even then, it's like there's a lot of Kirby there, but then a lot of it is just kind of the random.
It's reflective of the Kirby stuff, which, with respect, that's not what we remember as the strong suit from a lot of those influential Kirby Marvel books. Mm-hmm. So at least for me. It worked for that one, but I also think we are going to get Taika Waititi, who is a brilliant director, trying to subvert some of what people expect from him.
Correct. Yeah.
That from him, right? Like, again, what we do in the Shadows, Ragnarok, virtually everything he does has that same kind of tone, underlying comedic tone, where when it's most inappropriate and shouldn't be there, there's a joke, and it works.
Right.
But again, if they keep doing that with Thor, then they go the other way, because Ragnarok brought Thor back from being kind of the joke of the MCU to being a powerhouse of the MCU again.
Yeah.
With respect to the character, right?
Yeah, which made
go too far the other direction in this,
right? Yeah,
right, and make him look like a fool because of it.
And he needed the change in Ragnarok so that his next two the next two times we see him, his arc, because he just goes down this downward spiral like crazy. And I think it was good for Hemsworth to get that as well. So, okay. Yeah, that's a very fair point. So that was my only concern is you cast Christian in this role, he's going to go like batshit nutty as this insane villain, but I was like, but give me the insane villain. You can still have the humor. It's obvious. It's called Love and Thunder. It's going to be humorous, obviously, but, I just don't want Gore to be turned into like the butt of the joke, because it's like, nah, you got to give him a little more respect than that. But yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
Part of why I said the Surtur thing, right, is because we want to establish early that it's not a joke anymore. And I think, Taika Waititi likes to be very self-referential. I think it'd be pretty phenomenal to open the movie in a similar scenario where, you don't necessarily need to be captive. Right. But we, maybe open back in Surtur's little like thing again. And we also know in the comics, Surtur's stronger than Gore.
Yeah.
So if Gore was to do that, it would very much subvert everything people expect, not only from a Taika Waititi movie, but also from the Marvel characters.
I'm here for it. And I hope we get exactly that. Here's hoping.
Yeah.
And let's see. Before I get into that, Kevin Feige said he's not going to recast T'Challa. And while I understand his reasons behind that, and part of me actually is on board with that, I also feel like that's almost a waste of the character. I get it. I get that the actor behind him was extremely influential, and it would be in poor taste to recast him immediately. But he seems to say that he's not going to recast him at all. So I said, okay, cool. So then you're establishing who is going to be in Black Panther. We assume Shuri, which Shuri's probably going to get recast any moment now, but that's a whole other thing. But Thomas.
Hold on. What did I miss? What did Letitia Wright do?
It turns out Letitia Wright is very hardcore anti-vaxxer and is very
fire her for that, dude.
I mean, but she's being very rampant on her social media about it.
Like that's gonna blow over. She'll be fine, and we gotta get to this place where whether you agree with them or not, opinions are okay, right? So I just wanted to say that. But then the other thing I wanted to say is, I don't buy for a second they'll never cast. Everyone's making it like always and never, right? Like the man, they just bury the man. Yeah. They're not gonna recast him for this movie. You probably won't see him in Phase 4. You may not see the character in Phase 5. But I have to believe by the end of the decade you have another Black Panther. We have a multiverse now, and there are answers there to do that.
You absolutely have another Black Panther. It's not T'Challa. It's Killmonger. They're gonna rewrite the timeline to a world where Killmonger did end up becoming T'Challa and is not the murderer that he became.
Ooh, that would be a interesting.
They're just not going to recast T'Challa, right? Like that's what he said. Is you got to look at how they word these things because they're always specifically clever, right? We are not going to recast T'Challa anytime soon. Totally fair. They shouldn't. I don't want to see it. Like I know you guys are like 10 years from now, I'd be cool with that. I don't want to see another T'Challa. It was perfect for me. I'm good. Like move on.
It was perfect for me for sure. I just know how the Hollywood machine sometimes gets. With like, okay, have we waited long enough? And like, but that's an interesting theory, and you're probably more correct than you realize. And actually, one of the episodes of the What If show, I think, is going to be something like that.
Exactly what.
So there you go. So that could easily be
we call a test for the audience, Mark.
Yes, correct. Yeah, there you go. It's like, well, if you like this, you might like what we're doing over here.
If that hits, bet that's what they're going to do, right?
You said the key word there, multiverse, which they are just going balls to the wall with multiverse during this phase. So why the hell not? And also to see Ryan Coogler do a movie without Michael B. Jordan doesn't make any sense at this point because that's
what I'm thinking. I'm like, I can't. Ryan Michael B. Jordan pretty much have to be.
Yeah, that's his muse and Lucky Charm. He's not gonna like, I'm not letting you go at all. He's like, you're coming back, bro. And I always assumed Killmonger would come back anyway, regardless. I always thought he'd be in the ancestral plane because he was a Black Panther at one point. He was king, so he would technically have earned his right into the ancestral plane. But I like your idea better though of a multiverse Killmonger.
Can I ask you guys a question that nobody's asking yet?
Absolutely.
In the universe where we can snap people back and forth, we have multiverses and everything else. How are they going to explain that T'Challa is no longer part of this world? In story, right? Like we know the real world ramifications.
Yeah.
This still is going to need to be addressed. I think the top of Black Panther.
I agree. I think we're going to get essentially like what I'm considering an after event.
Yeah.
Where the next big like event movie is going to open with some characters disappearing permanently. And unfortunately, I think T'Challa is going to be one of them. I don't know how else they write that in and have it actually make sense in the universe because T'Challa is much too strong-willed, powerful, equipped to be killed by anybody unless it's someone huge.
Maybe this is where the multiverse of madness comes in. Maybe something happened. Maybe this is a cataclysmic event.
What if they swap? What if they swapped? What if they just swapped T'Challa and Killmonger?
That's what I'm thinking. Something like that.
Literally like a one-on-one swap, and we get to see the whole final scene play out just opposite again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
could be
goosebumps on my arms right now.
that seems like an easy way without having to go through the different steps of this because of this is just like no, here we are, multiverse, boom, there it is. That could be the easy fix. I have no idea exactly what they're gonna do with Captain Marvel 2. I just know that we are being reintroduced to Monica. I think
we're going to see some Spider-Man in that, actually.
In Captain Marvel 2?
Yeah, man. Those two characters are tied together in the comic books anyways. If you want to make it something unexpected, the thing with her next movie is I feel like they have to really make an effort for it to be 20 years in the future and very connected. Because when we rewatched her last movie, it's fun, but it really doesn't feel a part of the MCU a lot.
There are some things about, I think it's because it takes place in such a weird time and that there's such a humongous gap. Yeah. Not to mention the fact that when she shows back up, there's a 5-year gap after that. And so it's just like there's a lot of but I mean that gives you plenty of leeway to tell a story between these gaps. My thing is I don't know if they're actually going to do that for Captain Marvel 2. They might just pick up where like she left off in Endgame,
or it might even set up Secret Invasion. Like maybe we get the beginnings of the Kree Skrull War.
That's what I think. Right. Which we already know from the first movie, they've been at war for years.
Yeah, but proper.
Yes, proper. Right. That's what I thought the first movie was going to be, and unfortunately, that's my gripe. My biggest gripe with the first movie. I like it fine, but I was hoping for more of the Kree Skrull War.
Yep.
But yeah, you know what? You're right. I think it is going to be the Secret Invasion setup. But let's see. Hawkeye's been filming. We knew Haley Steinfeld was going to show up as Kate Bishop. She's going to take over the role because they're basically trying to get rid of all the big players one person at a time. But I don't think Renner, I don't know how the show's going to end up because based on the storyline that this show's taking a reference from, I don't think Clint Barton's going to die per se. He's going to retire, I'm sure, but he could always come back.
Did you just say that Jeremy Renner was one of the big players?
one of the original 6 Avengers. So
Right,
yeah,
but he's not costing them any money. He can't open a movie. That's why they're getting rid of him. You put Haley Steinfeld on a movie, and that's so much better than the Jeremy Renner movie.
the disrespect you're just slathering all over Renner, man.
Yeah,
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, what was the last Jeremy Renner movie you were like, yeah, that was good, and I went to go see that?
Can I ask you something? Aside from Marvel, what was the last Robert Downey Jr. movie you went and saw and thought that? I'm waiting.
Chaplin.
Thank you very much.
I liked his Sherlock Holmes movies.
I did. I enjoyed. I enjoyed those.
But that was post the first Iron Man, though. Yeah. But yes, I agree. I love those.
Wasn't that the question, though?
No. The question was, I don't know. I was comparing Haley Steinfeld to Jeremy Renner, and somehow Robert Downey Jr. got thrown under a bus.
Here's an unpopular opinion. I actually enjoyed him in The Bourne Legacy.
Yeah,
it is an unpopular opinion, though.
The movie's not good, but he's good.
No, the movie's not. And if you don't know the original trilogy, then you're going to be so fucking lost. Because at the time I saw it, I hadn't watched the original trilogy. I was like, oh no.
So what I will say is Bumblebee is far superior to that.
Well, yes, Bumblebee is very good.
Right.
Except for whatever the fuck John Cena's doing in that movie.
Being John Cena.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, as a DC fan, you better get used to John Cena. You're going to see a lot of him.
Oh, I know, but hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully I see him, and he doesn't act like
he got a TV show.
I know.
Yeah.
So
we should do a special on that.
Well, first I need to see the Suicide Squad before I give his TV show a shot. We'll see how.
No, just a special. Guessing what that show and the acting on that show is going to be like. We can call it Seeing Cena.
Who is he playing?
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker, yes, thank you.
And why the fuck did they give? Pardon my language. Sorry, I know we're live.
Why I've been cussing all night.
Why the fuck did they give Peacemaker a TV series? Is that actually something that happened?
They gave James Gunn went to HBO Max, said, "Hey, I've got more Peacemaker stories. If you want me to, can I tell us a show, like a story in the show?" And like, yeah, okay.
At least take a 5-year fucking campaign.
Basically, it's like HBO was like, well, we need content for our, we need original content. We're throwing all the money down for the original content. So like, yeah, sure, you give us a show. Why he chose Peacemaker remains to be seen, but whatever. But the point is, I'm actually excited for Hawkeye, and I actually think Renner's going to show out really hard in the show.
I agree.
At the same time, it's not like Haley Steinfeld needs to get over with the audience because to use a wrestling terminology, because she's already done that. But I think it's going to be good for the both of them.
They're setting up a new Avengers team, man. That's
exactly. Yeah, it's new Avengers. Absolutely.
All of these series are a build up to new Avengers. That's what this is.
Yes. And then what I alluded to a little bit earlier, I don't think Quantumania is how we're going to be introduced to the Fantastic Four. I think Spider-Man 3 is how we're going to be introduced to the Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And I'll show my work. The announcement was John Watts, director of these MCU Spider-Man movies, is coming on to do Fantastic Four.
Yep.
And based on his sensibilities with the Spider-Man films and just overall his directing ability, it makes all the sense in the world, not to mention Spider-Man's connection with the Fantastic Four in history.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. Now the how is anyone's guess. If I had to make a guess, the multiverse, because we're doubling down on all this multiverse stuff. But I do think John's right in the sense that because Kang the Conqueror is the villain in Quantumania, there is going to be a connection. I just don't think we're going to get introduced to
Hank and Reed. That's the connection, right? Historically, that's big minds stay together in Marvel.
Correct. Yeah. Which still makes me mad that Eric Selvig hasn't come back in a while.
What you're saying is you want Eric Selvig to be like Reed Richards' office assistant.
Wouldn't that be some shit? Like old ass Selvig, who's like a renowned scientist. He's like, you're Reed Richards' assistant. Oh, ain't that a bitch?
And he's like, I need a coffee. He comes back in buck naked with a coffee in his hand.
You want cream or sugar? Whatever.
Hold on.
Yeah, hang on. yeah. Any excuse to get old Stellan buck ass nude again. We're here for it.
Become the overarching theme of this episode that we want Stellan Skarsgård back in Marvel again, just so that he can party in the nude.
Just so he can do quantum physics without pants on.
True quantum.
Yeah, if the MCU ever builds to heaven an Illuminati, he needs to be the naked leader of it.
It's like you thought you knew. You thought you knew the Illuminati in Marvel. But I am totally on board with this. Now comes the fun part where we speculate on fan casting, which, hey, nobody's been doing that at all these last few years, including yours truly. I'm still pretty proud of my fan casting, but I would be completely understanding if they didn't go with any of them. However, I will still maintain that Doctor Doom should absolutely be played by Nikolai Coster-Waldau. I'm just gonna say it. Yep, and that's not my Game of Thrones bias coming out. That's just me knowing what the man can do. Watch the movie Shot Caller. He's fucking amazing.
His Danish like American mixed accent now, or Danish UK mixed accent now is such a it sounds ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you aren't familiar with Scandinavian language, it sounds very ambiguous. So Latveria all of a sudden becomes very cultured, like Wakanda did, right? Like they took a language and used it for Wakanda. Like they're gonna do something similar for Latveria, right?
Yes. I think it would behoove them to use Latveria as sort of a remnants of what's left of Sokovia, the now destroyed Sokovia. I think and that's how you get people to rally around this new leader who becomes a dictator, because also he's super smart, he's super wicked, and he knows sorcery. So there's all that. That's really, that's what I want. I cast the Fantastic Four who you may, but give me Nikolai as Dr. Doom. I would have said Mads Mikkelsen, but he's already been like all the other characters.
I mean, with Zemo back, I think the way we see it, I think we're eventually, provided that Zemo's not killed or otherwise done away with in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think there's going to be some link, right? Because Zemo is intrinsic to this.
We're getting the Masters of Evil.
Yeah, I was about to say we're getting the Masters of Evil in this show. Batrock's coming back, so I mean, like he'll be a part of it. Who knows? The people they haven't.
Now we got to have GSP back in a movie.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Yes.
The one thing, and then there's Loki, which we finally got a trailer for that. If you thought WandaVision looked nutty, go take a look at whatever the hell this Loki show is gonna be. But I can tell you, I'm excited for it.
That's all you got, man. He's fucking DB Cooper.
Oh, I know. That is such an interesting reference. Like my dad saw that and called it out. He goes, "He's DB Cooper." And I went, "What?" And he had to explain to me. He's just like, DB Cooper, and he had explained like what that was, and I was like, "Wow, that's a reference."
He bails. He gets caught by the Bifrost, and it just pulls him out, and then it's just a whiff of dollar bills.
Yeah,
the air after is just the greatest.
It's pretty brilliant, and just that shot alone, it said, I don't know what this show is going to be, but you just give it to me. Not to mention they ended it on the scene of him is that a story point in the comics of Loki running for president?
Yes, there is a 4-issue run called Loki for President.
There you go. So they give us a little tease of that, which is amazing, and the way Tom Hiddleston is posed in the shot looks just like that cover, and that made me laugh so hard.
I have that cover framed in my room with all my comics.
It's amazing, and so Zach Anderson said, "Can we get Natalie Dormer as Sue Storm?" I wouldn't be mad at it.
I'm there for it. I think if we're going with like a Nikolai Coster-Waldau age, though, I think she's like 10 years too young.
Well, but that's kind of the thing, right? Because Reed is so much an older dude, and then Sue's a little bit younger, and that was
why I think they want to get away from that, though, is the whole Namor storyline.
Ah, good point.
That damaged Sue Storm's character like fairly irreparably with comic fans.
Mm-hmm.
They, I think to avoid some of that initial thought from that specific group of comic readers, which is, as much as we want to say the Marvel movies are primarily viewed by the general public now, the loud majority or the loud minority that always gets heard are these people.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, correct.
Just not that they always need to be appeasing people, but I think, aging Sue up 10 years to match, like you said, like a Doom that's 40 or a Reed that's 40, mid 40s. I think it works to have a Sue that's 5 to 10 years his younger, his junior. I just, for whatever reason, I think that makes sense.
Right.
I love Natalie Dormer. She's fantastic. And if everyone else in the Fantastic Four is younger, I'm there for it.
Sure. Yeah, I'd be good with that one.
I like the idea of Johnny being like 1 or 2 years older than Pete too, so that we can get some, like you said, if they're going to introduce him, then we can finally get some Human Torch and Spider-Man in the movies. And like, that's, growing up, man, that was everything. So like, I'd be there for that in a heartbeat.
Someone had once proposed a theory that Johnny is in school with Peter at that science academy, and he might be a senior, or a junior when Peter's there, but because I think Peter's supposed to be, what is he, a sophomore, or is he a junior by the time Far From Home comes out? Or he had to repeat his year, so I don't know. He could be a sophomore.
No one knows anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, no one knows. So, well, there you go. That's how you introduce an older actor to play Johnny, but he's still in high school. It's like, well, because of the blip, we all had to come back, just like.
Fun is what everyone wants, and you could totally do that with him. Just pick one of the extras, like they did with Brad.
Yeah,
home they picked like that nerdy kid from the chess club and made him like 3 feet taller and like 100 pounds heavier.
It's like clearly a different dude.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff, man. That totally works for me.
There you go. Yeah, you could get away with that if you wanted to. It's all good.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, Gucci, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
What if you got like a Katie Sackhoff for us, Storm?
That works for me.
Yeah,
that's about the right age.
I was just trying to find like actresses in their 40s or around their 40s.
Yep.
And and people that I'd want to see in the MCU, and she kind of fits the bill, I think.
Yeah.
I could see it.
I think they're more likely to go with people that like we don't expect. Like, as much as there's been so many fan castings, the fan castings for Fantastic Four have been around since before the last 2 movies.
Yeah.
Right. So like to some extent, they're going to have to really veer away.
I think you're right. I think we're going to get like an Idina Menzel or something.
Oh God, I hope not.
She's like Disney royalty, dude.
Well,
can we get John Travolta for Reed?
Yeah,
No.
that's the
No.
Ew.
No.
Gross.
It'd be perfect with a little, they could.
Reed will be played by Adam Sandler.
I would be there for that.
Just arm shoot out in all directions.
It's like, why does Reed make those noises when he stretches? It's like, it's just what he does.
It sucks the air out of his vocal box. It's actually it's scientifically accurate.
Yikes. No, we already got the good Olsen in the MCU. We're good.
Yeah.
We
got the one
we need one that killed Heath Ledger. It's fine. Yeah. So yeah, that's more or less that does it. I'm excited for What If. I'm excited for whatever stories those end up being. I'm excited for the MCU and for Star Wars. Like I said, Disney pulled out their proverbial schlong and slapped us all in the face with it.
I know that you're skipping over like all of the crap or however you phrase it, like the children's stuff. God, I forgot about Moon Knight. You forgot about Moon Knight, and there were 2 things outside of Marvel that you probably don't want to skip. And one of them is the Alien TV show. announcement.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't see that part of the announcement, but I heard about it later. Noah Hawley of Legion and Fargo fame is doing a series based on the original Alien, and that man has proven that he knows how to tell long form stories.
Yes.
So even and the weirder the better, evidently. So yeah, give me that. And yes, Handsaw, Chris Evans' Lightyear.
That wasn't even the other thing I was picking up on. There was
There you
another major, bigger than everything else you've mentioned.
His Lightyear.
Disenchanted, right?
The Disenchanted I'm kind of excited about, but the one that really got me
I've never seen the first one.
was 4 more seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, man.
And
I've been on a Sunny kick a lot lately, so that made me extra happy. But at the same time, what in the hell are they gonna like? It's kind of like South Park. You think they're just gonna run out of ideas at some point? It's just like we don't know what to do now. I guess we could play Charlie McDennis again for an episode. But regardless, I'm excited for Sunny. And guess what, you guys? We did it. We nailed it. I talked about all the things I wanted to talk about. We did it in just under 3 hours. It's great. Now this might be one of the longer episodes we've done. I ain't mad at it. You're obviously not mad at it because a few of you stuck with it, and I applaud you and I thank you. The only downside is I ran out of drinks a long time ago, and I just never got up and refilled. This is the problem with the Friday Night Dive. I don't have a bartender to just constantly be, slinging drinks at me, so I don't have to go get it. But we make do. So be safe out there, everybody, because these are still dangerous and awful times that we are living in. But provided with the entertainment, it can be a little bit better, just a little bit. A lot of the stuff we just saw on this slate, we're going to be waiting for a while, but next month we get WandaVision, so that'll be cool. And if you're not watching The Mandalorian, you should be, because that show kicks ass. What else? Have your pets spayed or neutered. That's always a good thing, right? What else can I say? The night is dark and full of terrors, always. Speaking of, it just dropped. I just did an episode of the show Casterly Talk with Ken Knapsack, his Game of Thrones show. And we are doing a Game of Thrones rewatch, and he had me on for season 2, episode 4, Garden of Bones. So go check that out on his YouTube or check it out in podcast form. I'm his special guest for that episode, and it's pretty cool. Had a great time. Do that if you're not sick of me ranting yet. I'm pretty sure we're getting to that point at some point, but it's fine. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Thomas and John and Jeff, my podcasting people, my partners, my brothers. Always a fun time. Check out all the content that we have for you. Our season is over, but we are not gone, and we're certainly not forgotten. You can't forget about us. We will not let you forget about us. As far as the dive goes for the remainder of the month, I don't know. It's kind of a weekly basis to see what's going on. It's the holidays and all that. Happy Hanukkah, by the way. And then also my parents are moving into a new place, and it's just the worst time to do that. But what are you going to do? So I'll be doing a lot of that as well. So maybe a dive next week, maybe not next week. I don't know. You'll just have to tune in. But I appreciate you all. And on behalf of Coors Seltzer, every pack you buy donates 500 gallons of clean water to your local river. Save the rivers and take care of yourself. Bye.